I couldn't believe it. Incubi. Real. Oops. Floating in the darkness, my mind kept replaying the scene over and over again, reminding my body of the touch of the incubi's lips against mine. I'm sure it was his lips that you're thinking about. I'm sure. However, I began to feel the smooth silk around me and my eyelids unwillingly opened. Where? I awoke to find myself in an unfamiliar place. Where was Mom? Dad? I was pretty sure this wasn't my room. Oh, I live at my grandfather's house now. Of course it would be unfamiliar. I rubbed my eyes and surveyed my surroundings. I was still in the clothes I had arrived at the house in, but I was laying in a silk-covered bed. Thank goodness she's in her clothes, because if they had made her naked and changed her into PJs, I would have been super annoyed. I remember coming in the afternoon, so why was it nighttime already? Suppressing a yawn, I stretched my arms. Maybe I should order some food for delivery. I was feeling pretty hungry. I was about to sit up, but suddenly I realized I was not alone.
You're awake.
Oh gosh, he's looking at me. Since when was he standing there? And who the heck was he? A guy in my bedroom? Did we? There's no way. Sorry, I think I was saying my thoughts aloud. Why was I apologizing to a stranger who said only 2 words since I woke up? Wait, he looked eerily familiar. And then it all came back to me. Incubus. He was an incubus. He and his brothers came here for refuge. And 2 of them kissed me. And then I fainted. And that was how things came to this. Oh. He was leaning on the far wall looking at me. My heart began to race as I thought of the endless list of possibilities this situation brought me. I hated the thought of being under an incubus's power, especially in a bedroom. I'm going to be calm because he seems pretty chill. I took a deep breath. I was sure that if any of them wanted to take advantage of me, they would have done it already. Yeah, I'm awake now.
That's good.
That was just black. Was that, like, happiness for him? I saw a small form of a smile on his face, which made me blush a bit. Why, though? One thing still concerned
I'm
me.
not going to use my powers on you.
Thank you, Damien. How?
I can read minds. It's an ability I was born with. Each of us has a different ability, outside of our usual mind-altering powers.
Oh, joy. Great, even that's funny. Great, even more surprises. I grew even more worried about the situation I was in. I see. How long have I been asleep?
For a few hours. It's already gotten quite dark outside.
Well, where are the others?
My brothers are downstairs, cleaning up the blood from the lobby floor. And making you dinner as an apology.
Yay! Oh, okay. That's unexpectedly sweet.
Oh, it's the least we can do after invading your home, and 2 of us using our powers on you.
Oh, you've got a point. Right, I had forgotten about that. Still irked me they'd practically taken advantage of me at that point. Even if they were demons, it was pretty rude to demonstrate their powers by kissing me. I wasn't some kind of human plaything. All of this seemed pretty unreal. It was like something out of those romance novels that Naomi sometimes read. I wish I could have just went back to sleep and forgotten about all this. Maybe I should have just called the police on them. Then I would have never landed myself in this situation.
Do you feel well enough to get out of bed?
Yeah, I think so. Oh.
Trust me, I won't let you go.
Ah, he's already in love with me. That's nice. I don't think it'll be that tough to seduce him. I'm not so sure about this.
I promise.
Oh, okay. I trust you.
Good.
He has purple eyes. Why aren't there any blondes? There are 2 redheads. Oh, 3 redheads and 2 brunettes. Interesting. I was speechless. He was carrying me as if I weighed nothing. He was so strong.
Thank you.
Oh, yeah. I forgot.
It's all right. I'm used to it.
I decided to close my mouth for the time being so I wouldn't weird him out or make things more awkward than they already were. Well, he didn't seem to mind carrying me or listening to me talk, so at least things weren't too strange. Damien seemed very quiet and calm about everything, especially with the situation we were in. However, there was a sort of longing in his eyes when he looked at me that wasn't lustful. It was more in admiration. Once we reached the lobby, I felt that I was well enough to walk on my own. As strong as he was, it wasn't like he was carrying nothing. I didn't want to make him carry me everywhere. Yeah, that would be mortifying. Thanks for carrying me, but I think I can walk by myself now. Not saying that I didn't like it. I mean, I liked it. Not in a weird way, of course. It's not like I get carried around all the time. What I'm trying to say is that it was really nice of you to do that.
It's no problem. I'll be heading to the dining room then.
All right, see ya. He gently lowered me to the ground before he walked off quietly, disappearing into the shadows of the dark lobby.
Oh, hi!
Hi. Suddenly, a boy who looked around my age, or possibly younger, bounced up to me. He looked vaguely oh, wait. You're Matthew, right?
Mm-hmm, that's me. Are you feeling any better now? We were all worried when you suddenly passed out.
I'm fine.
Really? Your face is kind of red. Do you feel sick?
No, I'm fine. I'm sure of it. I must have been blushing when Damien was carrying me downstairs. How embarrassing.
Well, if you say so. I hope Sam and Eric didn't make you upset.
Well, it's okay. After all, I did hit Sam about what he did, and about Eric, I just wanted you guys to prove to me what you were saying. I suppose incubi are real, then. I wondered how exactly I got myself into this mess. Exactly. First my grandfather, then a fight with my father, blowing up at Lisette, and now this? I certainly had a knack for getting myself into slightly sticky situations.
Oh, I have an idea.
I'm not going to make the obvious joke, by the way. Oh, gosh. He shoved his hands into his pockets with a cheery grin on his face.
Wait for it. Wait for it.
Is he trying to do a magic trick?
Ta-da!
Oh my gosh, he has a fluffy thing. What is that exactly? He smiled as if to waze it off, but when he opened his eyes and saw what he was holding, his face froze in
Wait a
shock.
second. What did I just make? This is...
It was a creepy-looking doll. Hey, it looks like an animal.
Ah, what is that?
I'm not sure. Oh, it wants to stab me. His face paled considerably, and he dropped it onto the floor, scooting away from it frantically.
Get it away from me! You're possessed by a demon or something!
But isn't he a demon himself?
That's not what I wanted to make! I just wanted to surprise you with a stuffed animal or just something to cheer you up. That looks like it came straight out of a horror movie.
He slumped his shoulders and looked down at his feet. Oh, it's okay. You don't have to look so dejected. I mean, it's certainly unique. I'll keep it.
But it looks so creepy.
It's the thought that counts, right? You wanted to cheer me up after all. I picked up the doll and looked at it closely. Sure, it looked pretty weird at first, but it could be cute if I looked at it from a certain angle. I gave him a small smile. It's the first thing he makes for me. Of course I'm going to keep it. Thanks. Aw, now he loves me
You're
too.
welcome. It's good to see you smiling, even though the thing I made still kind of creeps me out. Anyway, you should come with me to the dining room. We're almost finished with the food, and, well, I don't mean to brag, but we're pretty decent chefs.
You got nothing on my boyfriend. Sounds great. Lead the way. Although they do have superpowers. Something smells really good. My stomach grumbled in agreement. I was starving.
Oh, the girl's awake.
Excuse me. Yes, excuse you. I have a name, you know.
Should we really care?
Yes.
Sam, I will roast that tongue for dinner if it doesn't stop flapping in that idiotic mouth of yours.
Whatever.
I apologize for his attitude.
No worries. Oh, that's fine.
Good.
We're gonna
I
plan a
hope
party
you'll
next
enjoy
time.
the meal we prepared for you.
Meal? For a second, my mind didn't understand what James meant. Maybe it was the doll getting to my head and distracting me. Oh, that's right. Damien and Matthew mentioned they were making dinner as an apology. Wait, you didn't have to.
We insist. Besides, it's quite impossible to undo our cooking, even if you command us to.
Can I command you? All right, well, thank you. Matthew put down the last of the plates on the table and bowed a bit exaggeratedly to me, gesturing to the table with a sweeping motion.
Ah, there we go. Dinner's all served.
table was filled with various foods from an eclectic, an electric selection of cuisines. One portion of the table was filled with elegantly plated Asian foods, and another portion some yummy-looking desserts. And there were yet more plates that I could have imagined. Whoa, that's a lot of food, and it all looks so good.
We hope you enjoy it, my sweet.
Oh, gosh. Eric, sit down. What? Sweet? Me?
That's enough, Eric.
Thank you, James.
You're no fun, James.
I don't need to be fun, Eric. Miss, please follow me.
He's like exasperated. He's pretty. Okay. I didn't know what came over me, whether it was his politeness or maybe his power, but I couldn't help but take his offered arm. James seemed very kind and intelligent, but aside from that, there was something that set him apart from his brothers. Not to mention, he didn't really seem to hold much appreciation for them. And he has glasses. That's probably the biggest thing that sets him apart.
Miss, I have to ask, why do you live alone?
Oh, well, it's kind of a long story.
I'm all ears if you wish to tell.
I'll tell him. Because I think he's nice. I think they're all pretty nice, even though the one was like a jerk face and kissed me. To put it briefly, I just moved here today.
That explains the luggage you brought in when you came through the front doors. By the way, we put your belongings in the room you were sleeping in. That seems to be the master bedroom, I believe.
Thanks. The house is really big. I don't think I even explored the entirety of the estate when I was a child.
You lived here before?
No. Truth be told, this was my grandfather's house. I used to visit him all the time when I was younger.
May I ask why you now live in your grandfather's house?
He actually passed away yesterday. It was bequeathed to me in his will, and I was sent to live here, whether I like it or not.
My condolences. It seems like you don't like the idea of living here.
It's not that I don't like this house, or that I don't have fond memories of being here. It's just the implications that come with staying at this estate. It's kind of complicated to explain.
How do you feel about it?
I certainly wasn't expecting that question, but in a good way. It was different from what I'd heard the entire day at school. I appreciated the fact that he was willing to listen. I feel angry, sad, scared, and confused. It's hard picking out the different emotions that I'm feeling right now. I wish I was stronger.
You don't have to be strong.
What do you mean?
I understand that you're going through a difficult time, so it's okay to feel those emotions. You don't have to be strong at all.
Thank you.
Are you all right? There seems to be a small bruise on your cheek.
He caught me off guard with that comment. I thought no one would have noticed something as small as that. Oh, I'm fine. He stepped in and leaned close, a bit too close for my comfort. Or maybe it was just me inspecting my face. Never mind, I'm sorry, I read that weird. He was really quite tall, having to bend over so much to look me straight in the face. It was hard to look at him, especially when he was so close. After a few seconds, he straightened up and began walking again.
Well, if you're having any problems, I'm always here to listen.
That's really kind of you to offer that.
My pleasure. Here's your seat.
Let me get your chair for you, lovely lady.
Eric was very charming. His smile pulled at my heart. The way he kept flirting with me definitely designated him as the charmer of the demons, yet there's a little distance.
By the way, I apologize for my behavior earlier. Stealing your second kiss like that.
You are not apologetic. Oh, yeah, when I didn't believe that they were incubi. It's fine, I guess. I mean, you didn't just get up and grab a kiss for no reason.
I'm not as forward, unlike Sam.
You're so forward. You're such a flirt. But he does it to cover up some insecurity, I'm sure. Suddenly, Eric leaned in and whispered in my ear.
I won't lie, though. I enjoyed kissing you and feeling you melt in my arms.
Ew, I feel dirty. I was torn between smacking him and trying to play it cool. Oh, I don't know. That's really gross. I don't know. Should I be cool or should I smack him? I don't know. I feel like I shouldn't just go around smacking demons in general, but it's kind of like gross, you know? I guess be cool. Like, gross. I guess be cool. You sure are quite the charmer.
Yes, I am known for that.
As much as I do appreciate the constant compliments, you don't have to keep talking to me like that.
Like what?
He batted his eyelids as if he had no idea what I was talking about, and I couldn't help but laugh. Well, like you're trying to get into my pants half the time.
I can assure you, I'm just a lover of beautiful women.
Something tells me there's more to it than that. For a moment he looked away, losing a bit of his smile. Before I could question it, though, he turned back to me with a new teasing smile.
Did you want there to be more?
I didn't want to hit him, but I didn't know how to react, so I couldn't look at him. He merely chuckled again in my ear.
Sorry. You just look so cute when you're blushing.
I felt my face heat up simply from his words. I then felt Eric take my hand and kiss it
I
gently.
hope you'll enjoy dinner, however, my dear.
Gross. I was both intrigued and slightly scared by the amount of food they made. Seeing my expression, Eric leaned forward and proudly smiled, gesturing to all of the dishes with a dramatic sweep of his arm.
I made almost all of the dishes myself.
Humorously enough, Matthew looked at him with a shocked expression, as if he was betrayed. His face changed instantly to that of a frown.
And I'm the Queen of the Nile.
What's that supposed to mean?
Me, you, and James did the work together, dummy.
It's you, James, and I, Matthew.
Oh, a grammar freak like me.
Little boys will always make mistakes.
Matthew looked at James in disbelief, probably for siding with Eric, and he annoyedly swiveled back to Eric to confront him.
I'm not a little boy. I'm barely a year younger than you.
Well, you certainly don't act like it.
Oh, I really couldn't help but laugh. Matthew seemed very much like a kid. He was adorable. However, I couldn't help but feel like, in a way, he was much more mature than the others. Especially Eric.
Huh? Is something funny?
No, it's nothing at all. Thank you for the meal, all of you.
Oh. You're welcome, miss.
Such a well-mannered young lady. Beautiful inside and out.
Eric, knock it off.
Hello. Sam cocked up his head and glared at Eric.
Seriously, you're getting really annoying with that suck-up act.
It was obvious that Sam was the bad boy of the group. He had this big, tough act, and it was obvious he was physically stronger than the rest of the guys. But was there more to him than that?
I'm just trying to be a gentleman. The young girl has already gone through so much. She deserves a good treatment.
There's a difference between being a gentleman and being an obnoxious flirt.
Schooled even by James. You're gonna need some cold water for that burn.
By the way, I don't believe we caught your name even though you know each of us.
I'm Bumble. Really, she's Mika. But I'm Bumble.
It's a pleasure to finally know your name.
Yeah, that's a nice name.
They were all comfortable around me, despite the awkward situation we were in. It was as if it were natural for them to be around humans. I guess that's just how... Ooh, what did I do? Incubi worked. Save in an empty slot. But I was still curious about one thing. Excuse me. All at once they looked at me. I didn't know why, but having all of them look at me made me feel kind of important. Like a queen or something. They're all very wary, except for the little innocent one and Damien.
What is it, miss?
I wanted to thank you for the food, but I still want to know why you all came here. I feel like I don't quite understand. Understand? Yeah, like being told that a bunch of incubi randomly appearing in your house is perfectly understandable.
Oh, how do we explain?
We were attacked. We came here to heal. What's so difficult to understand?
I'm gonna smack you, boy, if you don't get your respect.
Now you're just being rude, Sam.
I'm just saying, how is that difficult to understand?
No, I mean, specifically what happened.
Well, you see, we've been traveling around for quite some time now. Just recently we came into town, but we were jumped by this band of misfits. So, in order to escape and heal, we came here for shelter. Again, we apologize for the mess we made.
It's fine, I guess. So you're all better now, right?
Yup, all thanks to you.
What? Me?
You see, beautiful, we feed on sexual energy. But we don't just get it from kissing lovely ladies such as yourself. We can simply touch someone's hand to obtain sexual energy. Everyone carries sexual energy, you know.
Gross. That means when he was carrying me down the stairs. Ugh, rude. It wasn't just kisses that gave them power, it was anything physical. No wonder I was out for a while. The incubi intrigued me, but at the same time I could almost hear a warning sign going off in my head.
Is there anything else you wish to know?
Well, what do you all plan to do now?
Yeah, what are we gonna do now, James?
That is a very good question. We just got here and surely we'll be hunted again if we leave.
We can take him easily.
Not without more training, Sam. The result of that was clearly evident in our last encounter with them.
Well, at the moment I didn't know what came over me, but I suddenly felt sorry for them. They couldn't possibly survive out there. I mean, they would probably cause Wait. If they didn't know it was illegal to break into people's homes, they probably didn't know a bunch of other stuff, too. They'd probably cause chaos all over town. Or on the flip side, they would be taken in for questioning and be poked and prodded like lab frogs for research. That was even worse. Oh, Matthew looks so sad right now. Most of all, they reminded me of back then. I was standing alone. The entire classroom was filled with laughter and chatter, but I stood in the midst of it, quiet and alone. It was strange seeing the whole world pass in front of me with such vibrancy, all while I stood there. On the plus side, I wasn't engaged in any of the drama that might have arisen, like scribbling on someone's paper for revenge or kicking someone too hard. I was just kind of standing back and watching things pass by, life go on. I'd long before convinced myself that I preferred being alone. I often said to myself in encouragement, yeah, I want to be alone. There's no one I like better than me, so I ought to spend more time with myself. But there was a certain bitterness that, coupled with being alone, made me feel so sad. There was a difference between being alone and lonely. I just didn't realize it at that moment. But even after that moment, my father, my mother, there was no one to turn to. I was so lonely. That's when I decided on it right then. I was going to see my grandfather. I didn't care if my father wouldn't take me. I was going to walk my way over there and see what he had to say about it. I had never seen him before that. What better time to see him then? No one else was going to help me with what I was feeling. I might as well have turned to him. So after school, I decided to walk there. I had no idea how to get there, and with only a scrap of paper with the address scribbled on it, as a 7-year-old, I obviously had great ideas. I soon became lost, and like I always did when I felt lost, I just stood there on the sidewalk, back pressed up against the wall and eyes looking at the strangers passing by. And like always, people continued to pass by, and life continued to go on. I was sadder than ever. I had ended up in the situation I was originally in. Nothing had changed. I thought that I was silly for even thinking I could change things with my own hands. It was until a voice brought me back to reality.
Hun, is that you?
Did he call me Bumble, or did he say Hun? That's really weird if he knew who I was. I looked up and saw an unfamiliar face, but it was obvious that whoever was talking to me knew who I was. From that moment, things began to change. Life began moving its rusty joints, and I realized that things were moving along. Suddenly, I became a part of the crowd that moved like a blur past me. I was no longer someone who stood still and watched others hurry past me. Life had changed. I had changed. Because the very person who found me that day was my grandfather. I had the opportunity to help them. Though, would I? I wanted to, but I wasn't sure if that was the best idea. After all, 5 demons in my house wasn't exactly the living arrangement I'd imagined when I first moved in. Like, unless you invited your friends in, like, that house would be lonely. Let them in! Let them in! Let them in! Even if they passed for humans, how would I explain the guys living in my house? That's true. Imagine if my friends came over. They'd practically think I was part of a harem or something. Well, I think the tough one, Suzu, would get along really well with either I don't know. I think my friends would get along with a lot of the guys too. I think Suzu is most like the tough guy, but I think that she would probably get along best with the flirty one or like the sweet one. And then as for the Naomi girl, I think she would like Damien or what's his name, James, or the tough guy. Oh, God, imagine if my parents came over. I think my mom would faint. Who knows what my dad would do? I think he'd have them arrested on the spot. This was hard. Maybe I should have written out a pros and cons list before actually having to make the decision.
Don't worry too much about it. You have plenty of time to decide. Besides, you should do what makes you happy as well.
It was strange that I happened to remember what my grandfather said to me when I was little, but it did kind of make sense. They weren't in the same exact situation that I was before, but I did want to help them out. I think it would ease my conscience and also make me a bit happy to give them help, as weird as that sounded. Clenching my hands into fists, I strengthened my resolve to speak up. Well, you could...
What was that, lovely lady?
That is,
Spit it out already.
you could stay with me here, if you'd like. Oh, all the Alex figured at once. As soon as I finished my sentence, the room became still. I'm not sure what went through their heads from my words. The silence in the air cut like a knife until finally I spoke up once more. It seemed like you all needed a place to stay, and, well, I just moved into this giant house, so it seemed like it made sense. It was still quiet in the room. I decided to keep talking. If you would like to stay here, though, there are 2 things I need all of you to follow.
Yes?
First of all, you can't use your powers or deliberately do something that might harm me or any guest that comes over. Well, save for enemies, but you get the drift.
That sounds reasonable.
Oh, Damien. Second, you have to help me with any errands around the house. This place is kind of big, so yeah.
That is a generous offer, miss. Are you sure that would be okay? We don't wish to burden you any more than we already have.
It's all right, really. I mean, I just started living here myself, so I would appreciate some help around the house.
A wonderful idea. We'll live here and train while helping you with the house. Servants for the lovely princess.
This guy's like super annoyed, the green guy.
What? Are you serious?
Sam, I need to try to remember his name.
Shh, be quiet, Sam. I haven't slept in the bed for days.
They all seemed to like the idea, except for Sam, and hey, I didn't really hate the idea either, even if they were incubi. It'd be interesting to have 5 guys help me with taking care of the house, given that they would follow the rules I had just laid down.
Grr, fine, but we're not staying here forever. Only until we can beat up that group of punks.
I think that is a reasonable time limit for our stay.
Yes, this is awesome.
Also beautiful. If you need a bedfellow.
Shut up! Gross.
Eric, knock it off.
I was happy they agreed. Maybe it was because I wasn't going to be lonely for a while. Maybe it was because they all needed help and my want to help people was fulfilled. I would never be sure.
So what are we waiting for? Let's celebrate and dig in.
Finally, I'm starving.
Instantly, Matthew and Sam began to stuff themselves with food on the table. I noticed James' eyes twitching in irritation, so I stifled my incoming laugh. I don't know. I have this thing where people chewing with their mouths open like really bothers me. I think it's like misophonia or something. But like I can understand his eye twitchiness.
Really, you two?
You're
both acting like pigs.
Sorry, I just had to.
Oh, let them have a little freedom, James. It's not like we've eaten recently either. I'm sure they've been starving.
Ugh.
Still, that's no excuse for stuffing their faces like backyard swine.
I almost couldn't hold it in. Oh, jeez. So I didn't. I couldn't hold in my laughter anymore. As I laughed, Matthew and Sam looked my way, faces stuffed.
Is something funny? What are you laughing at?
I stopped to catch my breath. I leaned over the table and took a few breaths before replying. You both are so funny. Both of their faces turned a slight pink before they turned away from me, and they swallowed the food in their mouths.
Shut up! We're not funny. We're hungry.
Well, we're glad that we made you laugh.
Shut up, Matthew!
What? I'm just saying.
See, James, it's entertainment for her.
They were funny to me. At least they enjoyed the food. As I watched, I took a couple pieces of food for myself and placed them on my plate before eating as well. I hope I didn't lose points with James. I think I lost points with Sam, but I don't really care. Matthew likes me more. I like James. I think I'm going to go for James. Or Damien. Or any. It doesn't really matter. I like Matthew. I like Sam. I don't like Eric. He's too flirty. Eventually, we all ate dinner together. It was strange eating with just guys, but they were enjoyable to be around. They made me feel like a part of their family as we ate together. However, our peace was soon disturbed.
You turn the tables on me now, you trap me in your cage somehow. I can never escape from you, but baby, that's alright.
I just wanted to hear what the lyrics were. It's my mom. Excuse me. Hello?
Hey, honey, how are you? I'm sorry I didn't get to see you off.
Everything's fine. I'm actually eating dinner right now.
Oh, good, good. So there was food there. Well, your father wanted me to call and talk to you about having a house party tomorrow night to celebrate.
No.
Your father insists. You know how he is with events.
I knew exactly what he meant, or what she meant. He didn't like long, relaxing periods between important events. It was slightly messed up. I was expected to act on the drop of a dime, from moving in immediately the day after a funeral to my grandfather's house to now organizing a party. I know. Well, since I don't exactly have you two here to help me arrange it, I'm going to need some time to prepare things.
Oh, that's fine. I mean, Suzu and Naomi can help. I have work,
Her name's
and
Naomi.
you know how your father is.
I know. I'll have to do it myself. He won't help.
I'm sure it'll be amazing.
Mom, you are such a pushover.
All right, I gotta go. I love you, sweetie.
I love you too, Mom. Great. Now how am I going to do this?
Is something
I have
wrong?
Incubi to help you.
She has to organize a house party for her parents.
How did you... Oh, right. Mind reading. I'm going to save before I have to do anything. Crazy. I'll save over here. Why not? Let's use all the save slots. But yeah, I've got to do it soon or my parents will be really disappointed. I'll have to stay up and organize everything tonight.
Hey, why don't we help you? That's what we're here for, right?
I don't see why not.
I can name a few reasons why we shouldn't.
Sam?
Back off!
We'll take care of everything, miss. Just leave everything to us.
That was surprising. I didn't think the boys would offer to help right off the bat. I'm just too fabulous. I couldn't help but smile. I was actually rather thankful that I had let them stay. Now I didn't have to do everything alone. As I kept thinking about it, I couldn't help but yawn.
Feeling a little tired over there, princess?
Yeah, it's been a long day. At least tomorrow's the weekend, so I can sleep in. Then it hit me. Wait, where are all you going to sleep?
We found some guest rooms on the opposite end of the house from the master bedroom. I'm sure those will do just fine.
Got it. All right, then. I'm heading to my room to study and sleep. I guess I'll see you all tomorrow?
Have a good night.
I will. You too. With that, I left the dining room and went to my room. And that's where I'm going to leave it for now, because this is probably too long for you to watch the whole thing if I keep going to the party. But I'm going to save. I'm going to take care of everything. Nobody panic. I've got this. I've got this. But who do you like so far? Oh, I wish I could play this like live almost so you could like give me suggestions. But so far, I don't know who I'm going to pick. I am leaning towards James because I like him. But Damien's kind of winning me over a little bit. And I don't know. It's tough. But we're going to plan a party next time. And we're going to see who seduces us, or who we seduce, or who we seduce. But let me know who you like the most. And if you hate this gameplay, then just send me another fun game to play. But stay sweet, and I'll see you for the next episode. Bye!